Oh, we're doing it? Good evening, Carol and John Choppers. Welcome to the new year. He's not even paying attention. Speaking of he, we're all here, which is freaking awesome. The last couple of weeks have been a weird update of new books, but now it's not weird anymore. In a bad way.
Or is it?
If it is weird, it's weird in a good way, but we're glad you're here. We're glad we're here. Andrea and Kyle are really happy to get back to a normal processing week of new comics, and we've got a healthy table. I said that earlier. I like this table. I think it looks good. I think we got good stacks. Look at that honker right in the middle. We'll get to that when we get to the DC side. But yeah, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Hope everybody had a good, safe New Year and enjoyed themselves with their family and did everything they wanted to do. Mine was nice and mellow. I think all of ours were the mellow that we wanted it to be. I only have one update as far as happenings in the shop because we just went through beautifully full weeks of sales and celebrations and time off and whatever we need to do. So on the third Thursday of this month, which is the 16th, and my dad's birthday. So if you're watching, happy birthday in advance because I'm going to forget like I always do. On the third Thursday of the month, which is the 16th, we will have a late night comic sale. This room will be full of books that are normally $1, but because of our purge theme for the beginning of the year, they are going to be buy 300, fill a long box for $75. So we will have a ton of dollar books that we are ready to say bye-bye to, and we are going to clearance them out, even more so than we normally clearance
Purge them.
Purge them. Purge. Purge is the word. John's trying to find masks. It's getting kind of weird.
Is he really?
Shh, no, maybe. Don't put it in the world. I don't want to wear a mask. But yeah, that is what's coming up for us in January. We've got some cool happenings in the pipeline for February, but we'll keep you updated. Worth mentioning that January does have 5 Wednesdays, so you'll probably see maybe not truncated weeks of new comics, but not overflowing tables of new comics, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're able to keep our cool new discounted graphic novels out, but we'll get to those when we get to the table. First thing is a freebie. If you are following or have intended to follow Radiant Black in their Massive Verse for in Image Comics, it's a great kind of Power Rangers-esque IP, like original IP, and it's got a lot of really cool stuff going on there in issue 32 or 33 with a couple of side series. But we got a cool little free primer, so you can see what happened so far. Pick one of those up or ask us to put it in your file. We'll be happy to do it. If you have Radiant Black already on your list, for collectability purposes, we put one in your file. You are welcome.
And I just priced a number 1 and a 2, and they'll be out in the box for tomorrow.
Get ready.
Yep.
That's why that's going to bring them in droves.
I know.
And then we have first appearances, right? So all our first appearances this week are from Marvel Comics, which is cool. Thank you, Marvel. Whoever's listening that accepts that, thanks. First one is Daredevil Unleash Hell, which is a 5-issue miniseries, obviously red-banded, very gory. And it is the first appearance of the second iteration of a Daredevil villain named the Muse. And he is super creepy and super weirdly influential. Maybe not even a he. I might be getting that wrong because he's very masked. Magic number 1 in the X-Men side of things is the first appearance of a character named the Raven King and the first mention of a new bigger bad named Liminal. And then New Champions number 1, which was way more fun than it should have been, is the first appearance of the new iteration of the New Champions. That's cool. A couple side-ish first appearances on the table we'll mention, but I'll grab my tea, and we'll get to new stuff. So on the table, we've got some new dollar stock in order and a ton, 2 boxes to be exact, if not a little bit more, of new discounted trade paperbacks. So those were very generously donated to us today. Thank you. And they are out and available for purchase. A lot of older Vertigo stuff in there that was complete collected recently in the past couple of years, but these are the older versions, so you can get them for cheaper. New previews on the table. As always, we're going to rep the Nelson's Cubed Gum series that had issue 2 come out a month or so ago, and we love. But on to new stuff. Mark Spears' Monsters has gotten a lot of hype from a very small company. We have a reprint of number 1 right there. It has beautiful interiors. That's very similar to the artwork on the front. And next to it is something also very similar. Return of the Living Dead, number 1, also from a small company, but with a Mark Spears cover. Return of the Living Dead is an original story in the Living Dead universe, And if this is what's going to get your goat, it takes place basically in Cleveland. It has
no, not Cleveland, Sandusky, because it's an amusement park that's on the shores of Lake Erie. It's Cedar Point.
Whoa! Now we got canceled. That's
Yeah.
but yeah, it's Cedar Point, which is cool. Cedar Point with zombies. I say buy it now.
That's what, yeah.
It's not even October.
It's kind of a weird release day for them. Next to it, a fan or a staff absolute instant freaking favorite.
Ooh.
We've been loving all the new EC stuff. They're kind of dipping into the fantasy realm, but they're doing a wonderful start to it with a blending of fantasy, dark fantasy, and sci-fi for the most part. There are 4 stories in EC's Cruel Universe #1. It's going to be a 4-issue miniseries, and it's got some freaking rad tales. You've essentially got, I'll hold it up. You've essentially got, like, what if the hobbits ran into space travelers? You've got a really dark Snow White and the 7 dwarves, 8 dwarves kind of story. You've got, the
Junkyard
first story
Joe.
is called Blood of the Robo King, which is the most rad name in the world. It's super violent. It's very well drawn. Awesome.
It's like Junkyard Joe. Ish.
Kinda. You're selling it way short.
It's
Junkyard Joe's awesome by itself. You
no,
know,
I don't need to sell it way short because this has got our 100% like unanimous staff pick. We all read it. We all love it. You should buy it.
He's right.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, beautiful miniseries, beautiful start to it. Fantastic continuation of EC coming back. So we're jazzed about that. That's your cover A. We got cover B, which is an homage they've been doing. And then we're on the new Marvel stuff. No Marvel reprints, but one Marvel collected edition. It's Sam Wilson, the saga. I'm sorry, Captain America, the saga of Sam Wilson. So a lot of the necessary chapters of Sam Wilson as Cap, just in time for this movie coming out in a couple months. Star Wars Battle of Jakku is on issue 2 of The Last Stand, part of their miniseries, which is part 10 of that story arc, if you're following that. And then a really cool new facsimile edition for Marvel. We're in a very celebratory mode for Fantastic Four and anniversary stylings of that. So we've got a facsimile edition of Fantastic Four, #1, from the very beginning of Marvel Comics. Very awesome. All the old ads, all the same stuff, new package, new price. So there's your cover A, the original cover. Cover B is your blank cover, spiffy and shiny foil variant of cover A for $10. And then a very cool 1 in 25. Is that an homage from the Wade stuff? From the
Maybe
Orlando?
ish.
In the stylings of, but it's a 1 in 25 variant for $20. Up above that, we've got NYX on, where did we land?
NYX.
Okay. On issue #7. How do I forget every time? Issue #7, there's your cover A. Here's your cover B with Miss Marvel. And 1 in 50 variant, the all art cover for $20. Ultimate Black Panther is our ultimate book of the week. That's on issue #12. We've got that cover A, and then 1 in 25 variant for $10. Wolverine is on issue #5, still teaming up with the Wendigo, and he definitely chomps on a dude's neck, and it's awesome. There's your cover A. Cover B is the homage cover with Sam Wilson. And then we're on to X-Men. Uncanny X-Men is still part of the road to... What? 4. Oh, okay. The raid on Greymalkin. It's the 4th part of that crossover between Uncanny and regular X-Men. There's your cover A. Your 1 in 25, $15 variant featuring Rogue. And because I was feeling all lovey-dovey today, I put her right next to Gambit. There's a 1 in 50 variant, all art cover for $20. All New Venom is one of those soft first appearances, technically the first appearance of a team called the Symbiote Squad, but we thought that was a really dumb name, so we didn't include it in our feature at the front. All New Venom #2, I'm actually very excited to read it because I like the mystery surrounding who this Venom is. We don't know yet. There's your cover A. Your cover, your 1 in 10 variant ratio is $10 for the design cover. Amazing Spider-Man's on issue #65. We're still in the middle of the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man story arc. This is one of the chapters written by Joe Kelly. Pretty jazzed about that. There's your cover A. Cover B, Scotty Young. Cover C is your Fantastic Four homage cover, which I think is very clever. Cover D is your Marvel Rivals. Everybody just got excited. Marvel Rivals game character variant. And then we have a 1 in 25 variant for $10. And now we're getting into a whole slew of new #1s. There's 5 Marvel #1s on the table.
Holy cow.
New Champions #1 was a super fun read. Normally, I'm not like the one who's subscribing to team issues, especially young teen team issues. Got it. But this is fun. This is kind of continuing the team that was being built during the Spider-Woman run, a couple other things they popped up in, but now they're together. They're facing their own obstacles. They're kind of trying to work as a team. And the ideas behind the legacy of these characters, but also their originality blended together works super, super well. So there's a lot unknown about how the team's going to come together with multiple members, but the core group is there and they work well. It was a fun read. If you're craving like a new Warriors kind of feeling, this is your new book. This is it. So there is cover A that I was holding up there. Cover B, Momoko, which is great. There's cover C. Cover D is Artgerm, right?
Yep.
Cover E. Cover F, that whole team, and more. I want to know who this guy is. He's at the very end, and it's like he's got the wonky Doctor Strange hand motion thing going on.
Third eye going.
And then we got a 1 in 25 variant by Ryan Gonzalez for $20. Namor is getting in the back half of the miniseries, so we're on issue number 6 of 9. So we're trucking through there. There's your cover A. Here's
Awesome
your cover B.
B.
Cover B's great. Yeah, absolutely. And then another #1. What if Mickey and friends became the Fantastic Four? It is following. It's a one-shot. It follows the trail of awesome other one-shots, like what if Donald Duck were Thor or Wolverine? What if Minnie Mouse were Miss Marvel? And it's great. It's a team book. We're sticking with that Fantastic Four celebration in the early part of this year, and we'll get to it in a second. But Pete as the mole monster is just charming as all hell. So that's a great cover A. Here's a great cover B. There's cover C.
Oh,
He's having a blast. And then cover D, where Minnie looks a little spaced out, which I kind of love. She's got some free stuff from John. Magic #1. So another miniseries starting in the X-Men side of things was not bad. It is not contributing to the oversaturation that some people are feeling for X-Men. This is very much about Magic, her origin, her powers, her
Birthday.
her birthday. Yeah, it is about her birthday. It is about her, and I have never been super attached to this character, and I get it. I get more of an appeal now. I understand. It's very, very much an original story, not just like rehashing some old New Mutants crap. It's awesome. I was pretty stoked. The art's great. There's a lot of really great demon-y stuff in there, and the first appearance of the Raven King is really cool. Like, you'd think a guy with boots that look like bird feet is dumb. Not dumb. Not dumb at all. Very much a threat. We've got some great covers for that one, too. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. Here's your cover C is the logo cover. Your cover D. We have a 1 in 10 variant, the design variant, for $10. That's the Raven King right there. You think those boots are not very cool, but they are. And then 1 in 25 variant for $15. Sentinels is wrapping up a miniseries. They're on issue number 4. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. And then another #1 for Marvel this week. I think they're going to do these weekly. So what if Galactus this time transformed Gambit into his herald? His super cosmic awesome coat plays a huge role, along with his powers out in space and all the strife there. It is bewildering a little bit that all these people work out for Galactus so well. I would kind of like Galactus at one point to be like, you're not my guy. You know, like, you're not my guy. But we'll see. We got 3 more of these: Moon Knight, Spider-Gwen, and Rogue. So excited to see what comes up. There's your cover A, your cover B, and the homage cover C. And just for anyone curious, there's the homage subject matter. And then the top of the row is all Daredevil Unleash Hell. It is absolutely a Elektra as Daredevil story. She's taking over in Hell's Kitchen while Matt Murdock's not around. And it is absolutely warranting the Red Band. The Muse died in a run of Daredevil a few years ago, in the 2017 run of Daredevil, while Charles Soule was writing it. And he is influencing the creative talent of our alive world from hell in a very creepy way, and he's getting them to do very creepy things. Right? I mean, like that. The best way without taking away the shock value when you read it. So I would absolutely pick up number 1, even if you're remotely interested, because I really think that this is going to be the Red Band where they're kind of fleshing out the violence a little bit. Though there is an explosion in there, which you should have been way more hurt. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. Cover C. Cover D. Cover E. And a 1 in 25 variant for $15. So yeah, heck of a Marvel week for number 1s. A lot of new stuff to try out for a new year.
And then more number 1s on the DC side, because Aquaman is back. For all of you who have been clamoring for it, he's back. He's starts off getting some new powers, then ends up dealing with like Atlantis politics, but then something massively dramatic happens that leads directly into where the series is going, and also based off all the DC All-In stuff with what's going on with Justice League, everything like that. There's nothing better than Aquaman going up to the Watchtower going, "Where's Batman?" Like, let me go. Let me talk to him.
Honestly, the last 2 pages of that book were wildly fascinating in the context of the Justice League stuff happening right now.
Yes. So new Aquaman. There you go. We got your bunch of them. So jump on in. There's your cover A. We got $15 1 in 25 variant for that one there. Lounging Aquaman. Philip Kennedy Johnson still writing body horror stuff in Batman and Robin. Like, he just can't get enough of it in Incredible Hulk, so he's adding it into Batman and Robin.
I didn't realize he was writing it.
Oh, yeah. So there's your cover A. There's your $10 1 in 25 variant for that one there. DC versus Vampires World War V. The end of the first arc ends with a bang. It is, maybe I should say, a boom. How about that?
Oh,
so, yeah.
that was good.
Yeah, so
I'm really
awesome.
proud of you for that one.
Yeah. There's your cover A. Absolute Batman, number 4. The only negative I can say about this is Greg Welts is doing the artwork, not Nick Darrington, or Nick Dragotta. But it's still an incredible look at why bats are so important to Bruce Wayne within this universe. It is very much a look back at the history of Bruce, and it's done incredibly well.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's fantastic. This is still...
This issue, I would say, really is series defining early on for absolute Batman, not Batman in general, which I think is an important issue. Period.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's the things said. It's a very not action packed issue, but the things said in this issue are so necessary, and for fans of the series, you'll get so much from it. Yeah. So much.
And if you're fans of like just young Bruce, like, seeing where this world diverges from the regular Batman. Perfect. So there's cover A. Frankenvilla's cover B. Cover C. Big, massive honking Batman on your 1 in 25 $10 variants. And then $20 1 in 50 variants. We're going to go Birds of Prey. It's volume 2. I've been talking about like nonstop. It's still good. If you got volume 1, here's your volume 2. Their DC's facsimile is Brave and the Bold number 39, second appearance of the Justice League, which leads me to believe that they're going to start doing all the appearances of the Justice League from Brave and the Bold. So there's your regular cover, there's your spiffy, shiny foil variant, and then your blank variant for that one there. Batman Dark Patterns. Kyle and I were just looking at this cover last night. It is so creepy, so amazing. Oh my gosh.
Those nails?
Those are nails, oh, yes.
The Wound Man.
It is the Wound Man.
What if that was an eyeball man?
Back in print, Batman, Santa Claus, Silent Night. So if you didn't have enough Christmas, like, good times, get your Batman Santa Claus team up.
Fix your Christmas with this book.
Exactly. Stormwatch Road to the Authority Compendium. It's all the Warren Ellis Stormwatch stuff in one big giant compendium. The only thing it's missing is, of course, the Caught Up in Rights Wildcats Aliens crossover, but everything else that takes place before the Authority, all the introduction of all those characters, all in here. Glorious. The big one, $95. It's DC's Style Guide. It's Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. It's all the style guides that he did for DC. It's John's big book of the week. He loves this as well. You should, if you're a fan of the artist. He was basically DC's John Romita Sr. He was the guy who like drew all the characters and said these are the way they should be drawn. So if you just join DC and you're like, oh, how do I draw Batgirl or Firestorm? It was all on here. He told you this is how tall they were, this is how big they like.
I mean, this is
everything.
It's essentially the blueprint for DC's character design up through today.
Yeah.
Like, period.
Yeah.
As a DC fan, like, that is the book.
Yep. And now finally in print. And then small press. Wow. Boom. Rick and Morty, Kingdom Balls collection. Got it there. TMNT, The Untold Destiny of the Foot Clan. Is this volume 1?
It's the whole miniseries.
The whole thing. All right. So
All
there you
5
go.
issues.
All 5 issues. TMNT Mutant Nations on issue number 3. There's your cover A. We've got a $8 1 in 10 variants. And then I'm going to pass this off to Andrea.
Take over a little bit.
Yep.
Boom has a new number 1. When I lay my vengeance upon thee. It's an exorcist story about the actual exorcists, not so much the exorcisms. And it's kind of bringing in more science and more reality to it, not just demons. Like they're saying some people weren't possessed. They just had mental illness. So the exorcism was kind of like a form of therapy. So it's an interesting little twist to it. There's a priest who is being punished. So his punishment is to be an apprentice to a seasoned exorcist.
I gotta go.
You gonna go?
You want to do it?
I can do this for all
right.
at least. Yeah. Where Monsters Lie Cul-de-sac is on issue 3. I didn't read that one yet. Jupiter's Legacy Finale is issue 3. Prodigy Slaves of Mars is issue 5. Nemesis Rogues Gallery is issue 5.
Well, Mark Millar.
You got a
blurb.
little homage cover to the classic Grover storybook for Survival Street issue 4. Kill All Immortals is back in issue 5. And then this one, we only have one on the table. Can we order more? Did you check?
Yep, still
we can
available.
get more. Those Not Afraid is a new number 1 from Dark Horse. It is 2 serial killers who are very close to beating the state's record from a prior serial killer. They decide to do a contest to see who can beat the record first. And there's a
Don't
true crime
oversell it. That's it.
podcaster
Yeah,
that gets involved. Like, it's, you like true crime, you like serial killers, grab this book.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And then Image is on this side of the table again this week, 2 weeks in a row. So we've got a new printing of Death Vigil. So that is out from Steven Cedric.
Yep.
I can't remember how to say his name. Then a collected edition of Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, which is, I was raving to the guys. We have one right now, but I ordered like 12 more. This is not easily. 2024 was a year of really good comic books. Say what you will about the rest of the year, but this book may be my favorite. It is $10 for the first 4 issues. It is historical. It's bloody. It's very sci-fi oriented, but it's also just beautiful and romantic in a weird, awesome way. If you're a fan of unconventional love stories, westerns, samurai stuff, Ronin stuff, there's a thing like the Corpse Tide. It's awesome. They killed it with this book. I love this book. So Falling in Love with Path to Hell, this is going on so many spaces on that rec wall over there.
All
if
of
you've ever
ours.
explored that rec wall of ours, it's going on there.
We'll talk about it next week, too.
I'm going to yap the heck out of that book. I love that book. And then another big number 1 from Image. If you enjoyed 8 Billion Genies and had it on your list, we already gave it to you, but the same creative team who did that and Curse Words is doing a new book called Lucky Devils. It's essentially about devils who we all have. We all have them tucked away back there, and they influence us to do crappy things. These two have ambitions, and they have decided, these two on the cover, to address their humans directly, which is strictly against the rules. So it's about an upheaval of hell, but we've got a real down-to-earth story where, like, everyday life, each little decision is very impactful.
Yeah.
Like, if you're deciding to do something out of spite or envy, that's the influence of these guys. But it's about how that butterfly affects into the greater world. It's very snappy. There's a bunch of Easter eggs for other Image comics in it. It's super fun and silly, and also kind of, it's gonna get serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's gonna get serious. So that was a big staff pick this week too. On a week of number ones, we were stoked about that one. We all read that one pretty quick. There's your cover A. Give it a shot. There's your cover B, the blank cover. Here's your cover C by Frank Miller. Right, Kevin? Yeah. Geiger is on issue number 10. I was so stoked to read this book. We do have Junkyard Joe coming into the Geiger story, and we get to see how they've interacted. They're going to kind of unfold a backstory here in the next issue too. Really great book. Even though I knew he was coming when he showed up on a splash page, I had a little gasp to myself, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. And then Capra, Michael Fife's Capra is on its last miniseries. So this is the first issue of the last bit of it. If you want to catch up on it, we have the trade paperbacks. It's a wonderful, almost Suicide Squad story, but he's not writing the Suicide Squad. So there's your cover. Suicide Squad, Doom Patrol.
Suicide Squad.
Okay, cool. So there's your cover for number 1. Snot Girl continuing with issue number 17, Brian Lee O'Malley. And we've got a great reprint of Hornsby and Halo from the Ghost Machine verse. We always want to keep those in stock. So number 1, it's
the yellow and black covers.
I do too. I think they're striking. Juvenile, issue number 2 of that miniseries. We got Kaya on issue number 24 from Wes Craig. And then a big one from Transformers. You do not want to miss the end of this book. I will tell you that right now. That's issue number 16. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. And we have a wonderful 1 in 25 variant for $15. Napalm Lullaby from Rick Remender is on issue number 8 of that miniseries. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. Moon Man is on issue number 6. Thank you. There's your cover A. Very striking cover B. Love that one. And then we're into some all ages stuff. Minecraft has the new sticker book. Always happy to have those in there. We've got some all ages reader level 2 with Iron Man. Teen Titans Go has a new graphic novel for their all ages line, so they're on TV. Pokemon Sword and Shields on volume number 11. TMNT Saturday Morning Adventures on issue number 20, and then Best of Princess Celestia from My Little Pony. A couple storybooks. Wonder Woman storybook with Diana and the Dolphin. We've got Captain America with his own A Hero Looks Like You, and then big one of the week at the bottom of the table, a storybook sized story about Taylor Swift and her cats. We will order more, Emily. Do not worry. So that is our new comic table. I'm going to make Kyle swing around over here so I can mention one last thing, and that's in the midst of our purging at the beginning of the year. We have picked out plenty of hardcovers and omnibuy that have been around here a little bit, and John priced them down big time. So take a little scan of those. You got some large coffee table books, and by that I mean you can turn them into a coffee table. They are so big. Personal recommendation of Deadly Class. If you have never read it, I have never steered you wrong, ever. Maybe once. But please check that one out. I think John has it for $20. So these are spectacular, but I will let you go to the rest of your cold Tuesday evening. Thank you very much for joining us with our first one of the new year, right?
Yay!
Episode 242. We're very excited. Stay warm, stay happy. We'll see you tomorrow for your comic book.